All right, so I'm gonna tell you all about a time where a girl was being really uncooperative and hard headed, and I just ditched her on the date. I just left her high and dry. I'll start from the top. So I met her online dating. I'm very good at it. I've got hundreds on hundreds of matches. I can get, a date every day of the week just through online dating if I really want to. I'm that good. I've been doing it for a long time. So met a girl, and I use my normal process. I have a process that I use to go through to set up a date ASAP, and it works most of the time. If they respond, I can usually get them on a date within whenever they're free, within the next 3 days or so. So I use my process, and we start making plans, get a number and all that. But I noticed that she has very baggy clothing in all her pictures. Right, I haven't seen her in person, and she ends up calling me to talk about the plans, like to confirm something. And while I have her on the phone, I'm like, hey, what do you look like? Because all your clothes are really baggy. And she's like, oh, is that a problem? I said, not necessarily, but I just don't know what you look like. Say we met in person, I would have a better idea of how you look. But since we're online, all I have is your picture. So I would love to see what you look like so I can know what I'm dealing with. And she sent me a picture. She looked good. She had like really big titties. Huge fan. I loved it. And I said, all right, we're good to go. And she laughed. And then, so we end up making the plan. I had to pick her up because at this point she'd have a car right now because she's like in school for the military. And so I picked her up. Things are going pretty smooth at first. The first red flag was that when she got in the car, she said, do I look masculine? She has insecurity issues, like off rip, this quick. She says, do I look masculine? I'm like, I mean, do you think you look masculine? Because the clothes she wears now, she's had a new, she found God recently. And now she wears like really baggy clothing. She wants to hide her body pretty much. I guess she's ashamed or something. I don't know what she's got going on. But she's hiding her body. I said, well, do you feel masculine? She said, yeah. I said, well, how do you feel about that? Do you like that? And she's like, yeah, I think I like it. I said, okay, that's all that matters. And we pull off and we start, going towards the place. And I just noticed, she's just kind of guarded. So I like to let girls talk. I will ask them a question and then I'll let them just spill their guts to me and tell me all their secrets and I can move accordingly, put her in the place I need her to be. And she's very religious now. And I said, okay, well, what inspired you to find God? Like, did something happen? Like, did you have an emotional, spiritual experience? Like, what went down? And she said that she was doing a lot of bad stuff before. I'm like, well, what's bad? What do you mean by bad? And she says, what do you mean? What do you mean? I'm like, well, were you like robbing people? Were you, catching bodies? Like what happened that was so bad? She's like, oh no, it's like, I was just, smoking and drinking and having a lot of sex. I said, oh, I see where this is going. And I said, okay, cool. Yeah. So like, does that mean like you're saving yourself for marriage? And she said, yeah, I am. I said, okay, that's what's up. I fuck with it. That's what's up. And then she turns it around. She says, are you saving yourself for marriage? I said, what do you mean saving myself? How am I going to save myself when I'm not a virgin? Well, she's like, you can always just, like resave yourself and make a new promise to yourself. I said, yeah, no, I don't believe in that. I think after you're a virgin, you can't really save yourself, nothing to save. That's like trying to save money after it's spent. It doesn't make sense. And she got, and I said that on purpose, like to troll her because it's like, girl, be for real. So you used to be a bop. Now you want to, girl, for real. And so I'm trolling her at this point, and so she kind of catches an attitude. And so we're almost at the venue, right? I ended up taking her to like, it was this bar place. I really liked the bar. We were supposed to go to another one, but I didn't like the traffic on the way to the other one. And so I changed it up like mid drive. And I said, we're going to this one instead. And she's having like more issues. So she's having like questioning my leadership. She's like, oh, are you sure you know where you're going, this and that? Bro, I've been living in this city for like 3 years. I know where the fuck I'm going. All right. And I was like, yeah, I know where I'm going. I've lived around here. I know where I'm going. I know what I'm doing. I know this bar. It's a good bar. You'll be all right. Trust. And as I'm driving, we're talking. And I put my hand out, facing up, palm up, so she can hold my hand, just like a kind gesture. I like to feel girls' hands and shit. And she's like, oh, do you want me to hold your hand? I said, yeah. She says, I don't really do that. Jesus Christ. Like, damn, bitch. I'm like, is that against your religion, holding hands? And she's like, oh no, I just feel like, like that kind of stuff like needs to be worked up to. And da, da, da. I'm like, okay, whatever. Took my hand back. No worries. We get to the venue, and next to the bar, I like art. And there's an art gallery next to the bar. It was still open. They had a new exhibit going on. I'm like, oh, let's go look at the art real quick before we head to the bar. We get up in there, and we're looking at the art. And it's not the best exhibit this time. It's kind of mid, but there is one kind of cool piece. It was this big ass paper attached to this typewriter, and you could go in the typewriter and just type stuff, and it would type out what you said. Long ass paper, like on SpongeBob. It was pretty cool. I wasn't really interested, but I just wanted to look. She wants to sit down and type, right? As she's typing, I realized, oh shit, I gotta piss. I drink a lot of water, y'all. I'm very hydrated. I'm very athletic. I drink water all day. I piss all the time. My piss is like clear. That's how much I piss. And after 2 minutes of her typing, I'm looking at the stuff. I'm like, oh, yeah, let's go to the bar. I gotta use the bathroom. Let's just head next door. She said, okay, just give me a second, please. I said, okay, for sure. Give her like another minute. I'm like, all right, hey, yo, I gotta piss like now. Let's go. And she's like, wait, let me type. Let me type. I'm like, oh, excuse me. And so I said, all right, well, I'm gonna go piss next door. I'm gonna go piss. So enjoy your typing. And so I go next door. It wasn't to the bar we planned on. It was to the one on the other side. It was like a bar slash Starbucks spot, real cool spot. I was going in there to piss, all right? And I pissed. I used the bathroom quick. I wasn't gone long. I must have went up in there, pissed, came back within like 2 or 3 minutes, right? And I come back, she's gone. She's not in the little museum anymore. And I was her ride. So I'm like, okay, she didn't get that far that fast. She's somewhere in the vicinity, right? I don't know where she's at. Maybe she got kidnapped. I don't know. She also didn't text me. That's all the way I look at my phone. Like, well, she didn't text me to see like where I was at or ask where you at or anything. I'm like, oh, that's weird. Okay, so I walk around the museum, didn't see her. And then I go next door, didn't see her there. I'm like, well, damn, I'm not gonna just, see her all day. I didn't text her because I was like, let's see if she'll text me. Let's see if she has so much pride that she's willing to ruin a date to preserve her ego. Let's see what's gonna happen. And so I wait for like another 5 minutes, no text. I didn't text her. I got in my car and I sat there for a little bit, kind of looking around, just make sure. And I drove off. I drove the fuck off. And the crazy part is, as I was driving off, there was like 3 bars in that area. So the third bar has a patio area with chairs, right? But you can't see that area from the museum. You have to like go around out your way to see it. So I couldn't have seen her. So I'm driving and I go around and I see her sitting at the patio. Oh shit. And she's looking like kind of sick and sad. I'm like, well, she didn't fucking text me. Like, what the fuck? And I didn't go and get her. And I think she might have saw my car. I didn't give a fuck. I drove the fuck. I kept driving. I just kept on driving. And I almost got on the highway, but I was like, you know what? Let me just give her a little more time. Let me just see if she'll finally just admit that she was stupid and wrong. And let me just see if she'll text me. I go back and there's an ice cream shop like around the corner, It's a bunch of little shops in one place. Really cool spot. And so let me get some ice cream real quick for me. So I circle back and I park where she couldn't see me from the patio. And I go to the ice cream. Ice cream place was actually closed down. So I went to the original, Starbucks shop and I got like a little smoothie or whatever. Drink the smoothie. I'm like, all right, well, still no text. And I walk out to the patio area and I didn't see her. I'm like, okay, well, she probably Ubered home. This girl's ego was so huge that she'd rather ruin a date, destroy a date than just text WYA. It would have took 2 seconds or just came to the bar and followed directions. She showed from day one that she cannot listen. And so I kicked her to the curb. You don't want a girl that doesn't listen, especially early, because women do not get better with time. They don't. If they're horrible on day one, it's only going to get worse. People have the representative up front on day one. Also, that hang up about that religious thing, bro, when they're like born again, so you're trying to use pussy on me for a high price. All those other guys you fucked raw and busted in you might have had kids by them. They got it for free at a very low cost. You didn't do nothing for them. They had to take you on dates. You probably invited them over, let them bust, and you bust on you, right? But I gotta pay. They want you to pay for their mistakes. They want you to pay top dollar for used pussy. I'm not doing it. How damaged, how many gangbangs and bukakis do you have to go through to where you can't even hold hands with the dude without feeling guilty? Like, did you have like two dicks in each? Anyway, but yeah, like it was that bad, right? And she wasn't all that cute. Like, she was just cute enough for me to, all right, let's do it. Really, her titties helped her out, and the fact that she was tall. I like tall girls, and so like she barely passed, right? So when you're barely passing, you don't get to make many mistakes with me. Like, you don't get to be a dickhead. You're gonna get left, and that's what happened with her. So I hope she learned her lesson. I learned one for sure, that leaving a date is okay. It's okay to ditch these girls on dates. They need to learn that they can't act any kind of way with any guy, right? And so what I'm doing with this channel is I'm trying to create more clones. I'm trying to create like shadow clones of me, right? Because if a girl does that, right, let's say if she does that and acts dumb with the next guy, and the next guy ditches her, and she's like, okay, well, let me just test it again. She tries acting stupid again with the next guy. He ditches her. Eventually, she's going to learn, oh shit, I cannot be an asshole. These guys will ditch me. They will fucking ghost me. I need to change, right? So the point of this channel is to teach you guys so that you can be like me, and we can get more soldiers. We can get more savages out here that respect themselves and love themselves and do not care about ditching these bitches on dates if they act crazy. All right, so hope you enjoyed the story. That's all I got for y'all. Peace.